Hey yo, welcome back. It's me, Donnie. Today we're gonna sample. Now, you don't really see me sample too much, and there's some reasons for that. The first is, how the fuck is a broke ass dude like me supposed to clear a fucking sample? Right? The second reason is, it's hard to sell them for that same reason. So, they're fun to do, and I do them from time to time. I have a pretty nice little vinyl collection in the back room, but I don't do it very often anymore. But I figured for this video, I would take you guys there and show you my process for doing it, which is probably not even the fastest way to do it or the best way to do it. Honestly, I never sampled inside of Reason until probably like 2 or 3 years ago. Before that, I would use either Machine or FL Studio or use my SP404, which is a lot of fun to sample with. But yeah, so basically I just have a real basic setup. It's just my Newmark TTX turntable. I've had it for 20 years now, 15 years, something like that. I've had it forever now. And that just runs RCA out into 2 channels of my interface. And I can basically play it and record it right into Reason as I go, whenever I want. That's one of the nice things about my studio, is everything's pretty much set up to just hit record. And I think that makes the creative flow a little bit better, and then it just makes it more fun for me too, because I don't have to think about a whole lot or run a bunch of cables, plug things in, make sure that everything's running. I just know if I turn it on, it's gonna record, and that's dope. I strongly suggest, as your studio grows, that you get as many inputs as you can possibly get, because there's lots of ways of doing this, but I just love having things ran to their own separate inputs and able to be recorded in. There was a point in time when I only had 2 channels to work with, and that sucked when I started getting keyboards, or I started thinking about wanting to mic guitar amps, or anything that really went beyond just plugging in a microphone. It's been nice to have it all. So I've been asked before and I answered in the comments, but I'll just say it now. I have a really simple setup. So I have a Babyface Pro interface that I got it off eBay for $400. So yes, you can get nice interfaces for cheap if you're willing to get them used. So I got this Babyface, and it runs ADAT out to do more channels. So I can basically daisy chain another system to it and add more inputs. So it has 4 to begin with, and then with the ADAT I have 8 more on a separate piece of gear known as a Behringer ADA 8200, and that is specifically just it's a optical RAN interface basically that gives you 8 more channels. So I have everything plugged in and routed the way that I need it to be, so I can just record. It's awesome. You should do it. So this particular record, I just got it at a thrift store. I like to buy the cheap records and hope for the best. Basically, anytime I sample, I'm just shooting in the dark. I don't like going out and searching for specifically soul records or specifically Japanese records or anything like that. Nope, I just go out and I search in the 25-cent bins, or I'll go to flea markets and just try to buy whole boxes of records from people, because you never know what you're going to end up with that way. And I think it makes it a little more interesting, because you might listen to some stuff that you would have never heard before. and you're not losing a whole lot of money on it. I mean, what's it hurt to take $10 to a flea market and come out with 100 records every now and then, you know? So, yeah, just something to think about. You don't always have to spend a lot on this hobby or career or whatever it is for you. You can literally just get whatever and do whatever. There are no rules. But this particular record is the soundtrack record. I'm not going to tell you what one, because that would make it too easy. But I think it's pretty obvious. It's pretty corny. Obviously, like 70s, 80s, somewhere around there is when this came out. I'm not looking at it right now to fact check that. I'm just assuming. But as you can see, I found some pieces. So the way that I do it now, especially with Mimic and Reason 12, I just kind of like cut up some pieces that I think I will find some good sounds in to use. And then I'll go ahead and import them into the Mimic sampler, where it will put in some anchor points and stuff like that, and you can change them. It's pretty flexible. It's pretty awesome. There's lots of different things you can do with it. But that's basically what I'm doing right now. What you're watching is me figuring out places that I can put into Mimic and hope for the best. It was somewhere right around this point that I realized that I had way more options than I thought I was going to end up with. And I think that you'll find that too as you get better at hearing and listening for samples. But there's so many different ways that you can flip something or stretch something or use just a bit of it or use all of it, loop it, chop it, do whatever. Put your back down, flip it, and reverse it, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can do all of that. And that's one of the fun things about sampling, and why I like to do it from time to time, really, more than anything, is just for myself. Just to train my ears to hear some shit that I might not have thought of before. But, yeah, I really like the amount of options that I got from this actual sample. And also, to be honest, this isn't how I thought the beat was going to be. When I recorded it in, I already had heard a loop in my head that I was just going to chop, and I was going to do this super simple for you guys, and just so I could do a sample beat for you. And then it turned into me doing this. And I'm happy with the outcome, but it's way extra from what I wanted to do. You'll probably be seeing me using this plugin a lot now. I just got it half off. It was on sale, so I was like, fuck it, dude. Fucking, it's Portal by Output, if you don't recognize it. It has a lot of really weird effects in it, and I think when I get better with it, it'll be a whole lot of fun. But, I mean, probably for the next 20 videos from me, you'll see me pull it out at least once and then not have any idea what I'm doing with it. I've been leaning a lot more into like just hoping that there's gonna be a good outcome when I make music lately. It's taken a lot of pressure off, and it's also made it fun again. So I would advise you to try it sometime, to just like let go of the rules and restrictions that you have set for yourself or that other people have set for you. And maybe step outside of your comfort zone a little bit with things that you decide to do, whether it's mix decisions or, arrangement decisions or playing, melodic decisions and whatnot. Uh, just try some new stuff. I know that it's scary because everybody puts all these rules in place, but the truth is, as you get deeper and deeper into this, there ain't no fucking rules, man. That shit is crazy. It's crazy to think that somebody made all these rules, but at the same time, the rules make sense. It's kind of contradictory because you can break all the rules and you can still end up with something good. But you could also take what you made and apply all the rules to it, and for some reason the rules still work even though you think you were breaking the rules. I've really been finding that a lot lately. This SSL Modulate plugin is real dope too. It comes free with the Slate Digital pack. I've been having fun with that one. I've just been starting to do this recently, but when you're doing 808s, try to get creative with them a little bit. I never really thought about how boring my 808 patterns were until I really started dissecting other people's music, and I realized that I just wasn't doing enough in that area. You can do too much, so warning there too, but you gotta figure out how to tastefully make your 808s spicy. I'm still working on it, so I can't really tell you how. Goes that classic Lex Luger fucking chop snare thing. I think that's what the file's actually called too. Lex Luger chop snare slap clap thing. Chop slap clap snare something. Oh, I accidentally fucked up, but I think I'm gonna keep that. Drums is like the most boring part in my opinion. A lot of people have fun with them, but for me, like, it's just too simple. Like, the patterns are too basic. It's too easy to just fall into the basic patterns. So it's something that I'm trying to work on. Strings and pianos after everything, just because I felt like it needed something else to kind of like bring it all together. It might not have needed them in hindsight, but they're dope, right? So yeah, this is how I made this beat, and this is how I sample most of the time nowadays. It's a lot of fun. So if there's anything we learned from all of this, let's get a turntable. Let's get some channels so we can plug our shit in. Let's be ready to just be creative and have some fucking fun. All right? But yeah, that was pretty much it. I'm just going to do a quick mix down on this beat, and here's the final version. Thanks for being with me again. I appreciate all of you for watching. If you ever have any questions, leave them in the comments. Peace.